we are ranking the 25 game-changing snacks that turned Super Bowl Sunday into America's ultimate eating event. From crowd-pleasing classics born in the kitchen to freezer aisle sensations fueled by television ads, these party essentials earned their place through flavor, nostalgia, and sheer popularity. You will see dips, bites, and iconic dishes that defined decades of big game gatherings. Which snack became the undisputed most valuable player? Let us kick off the countdown with number 1. Number 1, buffalo wings set the gold standard for Super Bowl snacking. Their rise from a late-night accident at Buffalo's Anchor Bar in 1964 to the centerpiece of game day gatherings is the stuff of food legend. By the mid-1980s, wings had become a national craving, fueled by Frank's red-hot marketing that turned heat and mess into a ritual. Orange-stained fingers, piles of paper towels, and big bowls of ranch or blue cheese became as essential as the game itself. It's not just the flavor, spicy, tangy, buttery, but the experience, reaching for a wing, passing the platter, and wiping your hands before the next play. During Super Bowl week, Americans devour an estimated 1.25 billion wings, a number that dwarfs any other party snack. Frank's Red Hot even accounts for a quarter of all hot sauce sales during this stretch, proof of how tightly the brand and the snack are linked. Wings aren't just food, they're a communal event, a shared mess, and a badge of Super Bowl tradition. The ritual of wings, heat, dip, repeat, remains the MVP of every big game spread. In second place, 7-layer dip turns every Super Bowl table into a spectacle. The clear glass dish isn't just for show, it's a stage, stacking refried beans, guacamole, sour cream, shredded cheese, tomatoes, black olives, and green onions in bold, colorful stripes. By the 1990s, this dip was everywhere, riding the wave of potluck culture and Tex-Mex trends. The ritual was simple: one big spoon, endless scooping, and a crowd jostling for the perfect bite that captured all 7 layers. Supermarkets caught on, bundling ingredients and later offering ready-made versions in deli cases by the early 2000s. The dip's popularity soared through the 20-teens, with Google Trends showing it as a top Super Bowl search in multiple states. Unlike single-flavor snacks, 7-layer dip offered a visual payoff. Each scoop revealed the cross-section, and the 2 bites were exactly alike. Its communal, hands-on style made it a centerpiece, and the clear dish became a symbol of game day abundance. Even as new dips entered the scene, the classic 7-layer formula remained unchanged, a testament to its staying power and crowd-pleasing appeal. Third on our list, Nachos transformed Super Bowl snacking from stadium stands to living room tables. Born in the 1970s as a Tex-Mex treat at ballparks and arenas, nachos quickly became a home favorite by the 1980s. The secret was in the spectacle: a sheet pan or giant platter layered with tortilla chips, molten cheese, and a mountain of toppings. Jalapeños, black olives, and seasoned ground beef made every bite a little different, while the cheese pull became a game day ritual in itself. Early nachos at stadiums were simple chips and bright yellow cheese sauce. But at home, fans went bigger and bolder, adapting the snack for ovens and microwaves. The aroma of bubbling cheese signaled kickoff, and the scramble for the corner pieces was as competitive as the game on TV. Nachos brought people together, inviting everyone to grab a handful and dive in. Their rise mirrors the shift from stadium food to at-home feasts, cementing nachos as a shareable, messy, and endlessly customizable centerpiece for Super Bowl gatherings. Number 4. Pigs in a blanket bring a bit of the nostalgic 1960s cocktail party charm to the heart of Super Bowl snacking. What started as a mid-century appetizer, mini sausages wrapped in crescent roll dough, became a game day legend by the 1980s thanks to Pillsbury's refrigerated crescent rolls. The ritual is unmistakable: a baking sheet loaded with golden brown bites, each one just big enough for a toothpick. Mustard sits nearby, ready for dipping. But these snacks rarely linger. Their speed is part of the appeal: grab, dip, and gone before the next play. Hosts learned early that a single tray would not last through the first quarter, and stories of vanishing pigs in a blanket became a running joke at parties. Unlike snacks that require bowls or utensils, these are pure handheld convenience, fitting the fast-paced reach-and-eat rhythm of Super Bowl gatherings. Pillsbury's branding made it easy for anyone to join in, and the tradition stuck. Even with new snacks crowding the table, pigs in a blanket hold their ground as a nostalgic, no-fuss favorite, proof that sometimes the simplest ideas are the hardest to beat. Number 5. Pizza redefined Super Bowl snacking in the 1990s with a pace and scale that matched the game itself. Domino's 30-minute guarantee transformed delivery into a race against the clock, fueling a halftime frenzy as millions of households aimed to beat the rush. On game day, 1.2 million Domino's pizzas are sold. That is enough to stack boxes from end zone to end zone across dozens of stadiums. Delivery drivers zipped through neighborhoods, commercials blared promises of piping hot pies, and kitchen counters filled with stacks of branded boxes. The ritual became its own spectacle. Phones rang off the hook, extra pepperoni and extra cheese orders piled up, and the unmistakable aroma of melted mozzarella drifted through living rooms. As the second quarter wound down, pizza became the only thing moving faster than the offense on the field. This was convenience on a corporate scale, a pivot away from homemade spreads and toward a new kind of game day logistics. Pizza's dominance was not just about taste. It was about timing, branding, and the shared anticipation of the doorbell ringing just before halftime. The box itself became a symbol of the era, marking a cultural shift where pizza delivery was not just an option, it was the expectation. Number 6. The cheese ball once ruled the Super Bowl buffet with unapologetic flair. In the 1970s and the 1980s, no party table felt complete without a glossy orb of cream cheese and cheddar, rolled in chopped pecans or bacon bits and surrounded by a regiment of Ritz crackers. Hosts would unveil the cheese ball as a centerpiece, its nut-studded surface promising a retro kind of abundance. The ritual was tactile. Guests carved off hunks with a butter knife, piled crackers high, and debated whether to go for the edge or the creamy core. Its appeal was as much about spectacle as flavor, a throwback to an era when party food was meant to be shared and admired. But as the decades turned, the cheese ball faded from view. By the early 2000s, concerns about fat, double-dipping, and food safety sent it into semi-retirement, replaced by hot dips in sealed containers. What was once a symbol of hospitality became, almost overnight, a relic, fondly remembered but rarely revived. Today, the cheese ball stands as a monument to 1970s party culture, a snack that defined its moment and then quietly disappeared from the Super Bowl stage. Number 7. Spinach artichoke dip brought restaurant indulgence straight to the home table in the 1990s. TGI Fridays didn't just popularize this creamy, savory blend, they made it a sensation, serving it hot in hollowed-out bread bowls that turned every party into an event. The mix was unmistakable: cream cheese, mayonnaise, parmesan, and chunks of artichoke hearts, baked until bubbling and golden. What started as a signature appetizer at the chain quickly moved to supermarket freezers as TGI Fridays licensed their recipe to frozen food giants. By 1993, shoppers could find boxes promising that same restaurant flavor, ready to heat and serve in minutes. The bread bowl became a symbol of the era, soft inside, crusty outside, and perfect for tearing apart to scoop up every last bit of dip. This shift from restaurant menu to freezer aisle marked a turning point, setting the expectation that Super Bowl dips should be hot, rich, and communal. Spinach artichoke dip didn't just ride the wave of 1990s convenience, it helped define it, blending nostalgia for big nights out with the comfort of home entertaining. Deviled eggs carried the cool, creamy torch for mid-century party spreads long before the Super Bowl became a national food holiday. Their roots stretch back to Roman times, but the modern version, hard-boiled eggs halved, yolks whipped with mayonnaise and mustard, became a fixture of American entertaining in the 1950s. Paprika sprinkled on top was not just for color. It signaled care and tradition, a finishing touch that made every platter look ready for the spotlight. By the 1970s and 1980s, deviled eggs were as common at game day gatherings as chips or soda. Their arrival on refrigerator trays was a quiet nod to old-school etiquette, and hosts prided themselves on perfectly smooth yolk filling, piped or spooned, each egg dusted with the signature red. But as the 1990s brought new concerns, double dipping, salmonella scares, and changing tastes, deviled eggs began to disappear from Super Bowl tables. Their perishability and the rise of store-bought snacks pushed them aside, leaving only nostalgia for that cold, creamy bite. Today, deviled eggs linger mostly in memory, a symbol of a more formal, hands-on era of party food when presentation mattered and every sprinkle of paprika felt like a small celebration. Number 9, Chex Mix bridges the gap between homemade ritual and the rise of packaged convenience. In the 1970s and the 1980s, Chex Mix was a homemade staple. Cereal squares, pretzels, and nuts tossed with Worcestershire sauce and seasonings, then slow-baked in the oven. The aroma of butter and spice signaled party time, with giant mixing bowls making the rounds at every Super Bowl gathering. Recipes were passed down, each family adding their own twist, but the core ingredients remained a constant. By the early 1990s, General Mills saw an opportunity and launched the first bagged Chex Mix, shifting the tradition from kitchen counters to grocery shelves. This move marked a turning point. What once took hours to prepare could now be grabbed last minute, ready for game day in seconds. The distinctive tang of Worcestershire stayed, but the ritual changed. No more baking trays or handwritten recipes, just the crinkle of a bag and a bowl on the coffee table. Chex Mix did not just survive the convenience wave, it became a symbol of it, signaling the start of the packaged snack era that would come to define modern Super Bowl spreads. Number 10. Mozzarella sticks changed the game for Super Bowl snackers in the 1990s. As freezer aisles filled with heat and serve options, these breaded cheese sticks became the go-to move for anyone chasing that restaurant appetizer feeling at home. TGI Fridays and Ore-Ida led the charge, rolling out frozen mozzarella sticks nationwide by 1991. And within just a few years, their sales fueled a 30% jump in the frozen appetizer category. The appeal was obvious. No deep fryer required, just a baking sheet or a microwave, and in minutes you had gooey cheese pulls and a golden crust, perfect for a living room full of hungry fans. Marinara sauce became the default dip, turning every bite into a mini event. For hosts, it was all about convenience and crowd-pleasing power. And for guests, the ritual was unmistakable. Grab, dip, and stretch that cheese as far as it would go. The mozzarella stick's rise marked a shift to rapid-fire, freezer-friendly snacks that delivered big flavor and a little bit of spectacle with every pull. Number 11. Potato skins brought the loaded snack craze of the 1980s and the 1990s straight to the Super Bowl table. Restaurants first sparked the trend, halved potatoes scooped and crisped in the oven, then packed with cheddar cheese, bacon bits, and a dollop of sour cream. Chives sprinkled on top signaled the dish was ready for kickoff. The ritual was all about the build, piping hot skins arranged on platters, each one a crunchy, salty bite layered with toppings. As the trend caught fire, freezer aisle versions made it even easier, just heat and serve, no deep fryer required. Potato skins became the answer for hosts who wanted something more substantial than chips. But with all the fun of finger food, their popularity peaked quickly, but for a while no Super Bowl party felt complete without a tray of golden cheese-stuffed skins disappearing before halftime. Number 12, chips and salsa became the mandatory opener for Super Bowl parties by the 1990s, thanks in large part to Tostitos' relentless ad campaigns. Commercials pitched the pairing as essential, and soon, the sight of a big bag of tortilla chips next to a jar of chunky salsa felt as automatic as the coin toss. The ritual was simple. Open a bag, pop a lid, and let the refills keep coming. Lime-flavored chips added a new twist, but the core experience stayed the same, communal, unfussy, and endlessly replenished. Glass jars lined kitchen counters, and the crunch of chips mixed with the tang of salsa became background noise for every big play. Unlike dips that required prep or heating, chips and salsa thrived on simplicity and abundance, anchoring the snack table as a constant, always-ready favorite that never seemed to run out before the fourth quarter. Number 13. Cocktail meatballs brought a sweet and savory twist to Super Bowl parties, starting in the crockpots of the 1960s. The secret was always in the sauce, a blend of grape jelly and chili sauce that turned humble frozen meatballs into something sticky, tangy, and completely addictive. Hosts would prep big batches before kickoff, letting the slow cooker do the work while the game played on. The ritual was unmistakable. A bowl of glossy meatballs, a jar of toothpicks nearby, and a crowd eager to spear one before they disappeared. Unlike snacks that demanded last-minute assembly or constant refills, cocktail meatballs offered hands-off convenience and a flavor profile that stood out from the usual cheese and chips. Their popularity in the 1970s and the 1980s set the stage for the rise of mini burgers and other bite-sized party fare. But the sticky, sweet heat of grape jelly meatballs remains a nostalgic favorite. Proof that sometimes the best game day snacks come from a slow simmer and a handful of toothpicks. Number 14. Sliders brought the mini burger craze to Super Bowl parties in the 2000s, rewriting the rules for crowd-pleasing finger food. Inspired by White Castle's iconic little burgers, home cooks found a shortcut: ground beef pressed onto a sheet pan, layered with cheese, then sliced into squares that fit perfectly on sweet Hawaiian rolls. The real game changer was the assembly, all at once, baked as a pull-apart batch, then topped with pickles for a tangy crunch. Suddenly, hosts could serve a dozen hot, melty burgers in seconds, no flipping required. Sliders fit the fast-paced grab-and-go rhythm of modern gatherings, keeping hands free for drinks or high fives. Their rise signaled a new era of handheld innovation, where the sheet pan hack made it easy to feed a crowd and keep the party moving. The pickle on top, that's just the finishing touch. Number 15. Jalapeno poppers crashed the Super Bowl snack table with a blast of the 1990s attitude. Freezer aisles packed with breaded cream cheese stuffed peppers meant anyone could serve up a platter of spicy, melty bites in minutes, no party chef required. The ritual was all about contrast, crispy coating, creamy filling, and a jolt of heat that dared you to reach for another. The real wild card: no two brands packed the same punch. Some poppers brought a gentle warmth, others set off alarms, making every batch a gamble. Ranch dressing or sour cream stood by, ready to cool things down between bites. As the freezer appetizer boom took off, jalapeno poppers found their lane as the spicy, sassy cousin to mozzarella sticks, adding heat and a little swagger to the game day lineup. For hosts, it was the ultimate convenience. Straight from box to oven to party, just in time for kickoff. Number 16. Queso dip anchors the warm side of the Super Bowl snack table with a ritual all its own. The classic formula, Velveeta cheese and a can of Rotel tomatoes, lands in a crockpot before kickoff and then stays molten and ready for hours. This dip isn't just about flavor, it's about consistency. The crock-pot hums in the background, keeping the cheese perfectly pourable as fans circle back between plays. Tortilla chips become a necessity, not just a pairing, as the salty crunch balances the creamy, spicy dip. The shorthand of Velveeta and Rotel is so ingrained that recipes rarely bother to explain. Queso's warmth draws a steady crowd, setting it apart from cold dips and making it the centerpiece for communal grazing. It's a comfort food engineered for sharing, and the crock-pot's gentle heat ensures there is always another scoop waiting, no matter how long the game drags on. Number 17. Onion dip has quietly anchored Super Bowl snack tables since the 1960s. The formula couldn't be simpler. A packet of Lipton onion soup mix, stirred into a tub of sour cream, chilled, and served with a bag of Ruffles. This two-ingredient classic exploded in popularity thanks to recipe cards tucked into grocery store displays and magazine ads promising a crowd pleaser in 5 minutes flat. While other dips came and went, onion dip endured. No heating, no fuss, just a cold bowl ready for endless scooping. Ruffles' deep ridges became the perfect match, sturdy enough to handle the thick, savory dip without breaking. Unlike queso or hot artichoke spreads, onion dip's staying power lies in its simplicity and nostalgia. Decades later, it still shows up at parties, a reassuring presence that needs no reinvention. In a world of changing tastes, onion dip remains a comfort, proof that some game day rituals never fade. Number 18. Chili brings the warmth of a winter kitchen straight to the heart of Super Bowl Sunday. In the 1970s, big pots of chili simmered on stovetops across America, filling homes with the rich scent of spices and slow-cooked beef. February's chill made a hot, hearty bowl as welcome as the game itself, and chili quickly became a staple for cold weather gatherings. The ritual was all about the toppings. Fans piled on shredded cheese, sour cream, and, by the 1980s, a handful of Fritos for salty crunch. Some hosts even served chili in bread bowls, turning the meal into an event. Unlike finger foods, chili offered real comfort, fueling guests for hours of football and conversation. Its staying power comes from that blend of tradition and flexibility, adapting to any crowd and every taste, always ready to warm up the coldest game day. Number 19. Sub sandwiches delivered a new kind of spectacle to Super Bowl parties in the 1990s. The 6-foot party sub became a symbol of abundance, stretching across kitchen counters and feeding crowds with a single show-stopping centerpiece. Subway's marketing campaigns pushed the idea that no gathering was complete without a van-delivered sub, stacked with layers of deli meats, cheese, lettuce, and tomatoes. Franchisees reported record orders. Sometimes dozens of party subs were loaded into delivery vans, destined for living rooms packed with fans. The logistics alone became part of the ritual, measuring fridge space, clearing tables, and slicing the sub into manageable pieces. Unlike finger foods, the party sub offered scale, one item, endless servings. Its popularity signaled a shift toward mass crowd solutions, where feeding a dozen or more guests did not mean juggling dozens of different snacks. The rise of the 6-foot sub turned game day into an event of its own, setting the stage for the dessert rush that always followed. Number 20. Brownies signaled the start of the dessert rush at Super Bowl parties. For decades, their arrival meant the end of the savory spread and the beginning of something sweet. Boxed mixes, first popularized in the 1960s, made brownies a low-effort staple. Just add eggs and oil, bake and slice into squares. The debate was always the same, fudgy or cakey. Every family claimed their mix was the best, and the pan rarely lasted past the third quarter. Brownies were the rare treat that required no utensils, no fuss, and no leftovers. Powdered sugar dusted on top, or a swirl of chocolate chips set off a quiet competition among bakers, but the real prize was grabbing one before the plate was empty. In a sea of chips and dips, Brownies offered a sweet, familiar finish, gone fast, but never forgotten. Number 21. Pretzels and beer cheese bring a wave of stadium nostalgia to the Super Bowl snack table. By the early 21st century, frozen soft pretzels, especially the Super Pretzel brand, made it easy to recreate that ballpark experience at home. The ritual is simple. Pretzels warmed in the oven, sprinkled with coarse salt, and served alongside a bowl of creamy beer cheese dip. For some, classic yellow mustard remains the go-to, but beer cheese has become the party favorite, especially in the Midwest and during big games. The appeal is in the texture and temperature, a warm, chewy bite dipped into a rich, tangy cheese sauce. These pretzels offer a break from chips and fried snacks, adding a hearty, carb-loaded option that feels both comforting and festive. While veggie trays might linger untouched, pretzels and beer cheese disappear fast, capturing the spirit of the stadium and the comfort of home in every bite. Number 22. The veggie tray stands as the eternal token of health at Super Bowl parties. Since the 1980s, it is presented with hopeful intentions: carrots, celery, cherry tomatoes, and broccoli, all neatly arranged around a plastic cup of ranch. Hosts set it out early, maybe to ease their conscience or to appease a guest with dietary restrictions, but the result is always the same. The ranch disappears first, picked off by chip dippers and wing eaters, while the vegetables linger on the edge of the table, untouched and unloved. By halftime, the tray sits nearly full, a quiet reminder that social obligation cannot compete with melted cheese or deep-fried snacks. The veggie tray never truly leaves the party, but it rarely gets finished. It is the last thing standing when the cookie platter is wiped clean, a symbol of good intentions and the reality of game day appetites. Number 23. Cookies deliver instant sweetness to the Super Bowl spread, no oven mitts required. Grocery store bakery trays, sealed under clear plastic lids, show rows of chocolate chip, sugar, and frosted cookies, dozens at a time, ready to go from cart to coffee table. Their appeal is all about convenience and variety. One box covers every craving, and there is no need for slicing or plating. Kids swarm the tray first, but by halftime, even the adults have circled back for a quick sugar fix. Supermarket bakeries count on this demand, ramping up production in the days before the big game and moving thousands of trays for last-minute shoppers. Cookies may not have the drama of a gooey brownie or the freshness gamble of homemade guacamole, but they win with sheer numbers and zero prep. When the veggie tray lingers, the cookie platter is always the first to vanish. Number 24. Guacamole brings a burst of freshness to the Super Bowl table, but always with a ticking clock. By the 1990s, homemade or store-bought guacamole became a game day essential, celebrated for its creamy blend of ripe avocados, lime juice, cilantro, and diced tomatoes. The ritual of mashing, seasoning, and tasting for just the right tang turned into a pre-game tradition for many hosts. But no matter how carefully it is mixed, browning is inevitable. Lime slows the process, but even the best-sealed bowl cannot keep that vibrant green forever. Store-bought versions promise convenience, yet often trade away the brightness and texture of fresh prep. For every party, there is a moment when the guacamole looks perfect, then quietly starts to fade, a reminder that some snacks are meant to be enjoyed in the moment. The challenge of keeping it fresh only adds to its allure, making each scoop feel a little more urgent as the game goes on. Number 25. Chicken tenders bring the freezer aisle revolution full circle, landing on Super Bowl tables as the snack everyone, from kids and teens to adults, can agree on. Their rise in the 1990s mirrors the shift to convenience. Breaded strips, ready to bake straight from the box, offer a crispy exterior that rivals any restaurant order. Freezer sales soared as brands like Tyson and Perdue filled supermarket shelves, promising hot golden tenders in under 20 minutes. The real draw, though, is the dipping lineup: honey mustard, barbecue, and ranch each fueled debates over the best match. While tenders started as a kid-friendly option, game day proved their cross-generational pull. The platter empties just as fast as wings or sliders, with adults sneaking seconds between plays. Chicken tenders close out the snack spread as the ultimate crowd pleaser, blending the ease of freezer convenience with the universal comfort of a warm, familiar bite. No matter who wins the game, these are always a safe bet. Across all 25 snacks, one pattern stands out. Super Bowl food is less about gourmet taste and more about ritual, nostalgia, and sheer abundance. These snacks reflect how marketing, convenience, and tradition shape what we crave together. Year after year, America's game day isn't just about football. It's a living snapshot of how we gather, share, and celebrate. Which snack defines your Super Bowl? Let us know below and subscribe for more food history deep dives.